most. Who is done? Yeah? Who wants to go first? Nobody wants to go first. Nobody ever does. Ali, yeah?
Oh, well done, Ali.
Ali's also my cousin. Just so everyone knows. I don't know why everyone needs to know, but I just thought I'd chuck that out there. Talking about relations and relationships is one of my relations.
What does it mean? Because I don't know. According to Google, it is a political philosophy or worldview founded on ideas of liberty and equality. Now I know what it means, but do I understand it? Not exactly.
Sweet. Love it. What was your word?
Liberalism.
Liberalism. Awesome.
Okay, next.
So give us, what's your word, and then what did you write?
Okay. The word was reciprocity, I think you say it.
Reciprocity, yeah.
Reciprocity is a process where you can share your knowledge with others. It allows people to understand and find new things and gain a new or more developed meaning. I didn't know what reciprocity meant, but through this game of sharing words, I have learnt something new, which is the meaning of the word.
My word was home. Home is where the heart is, where memories, stories and family are created. When the first experience still lasts, there's the ongoing growth of a sense of belonging, a sense of creativity and a sense of identity being built.
Thank you.
Mine was sky, and I did a poem. It's kind of tricky, but that ever-expanding blue sky, been here around since Earth's first cry, has a personality that's shown by weather, a connection bringing us all together. That ever-expanding blue sky, what it'd be like to look down by bird's eye.
Awesome. Thank you.
Mine was willingness. Willingness is taking the bullet to stand furthest from the others, to lose coin for the other man. It's not to take the fall, play fool, make statistics. Sacrifice of self is noble but foolish, sacrifice of other is villainous but politics.
Awesome. Ooh, thank you.
Anybody want to go up here? Looking in the other direction.
I'll go. Mine was sleep.
Sleep?
So I said, I love to sleep. Sleep is peaceful. Everybody needs sleep. Babies, kids, adults, even animals. When you sleep, you can dream. And sleeping is healing. If you have a headache, you can sleep it off. Or if you're bored, you can take a nap. And if you're sad, you can just sleep away your problem. That's all I've got.
Awesome. Thank you.
Mine was Tim Tam.
Is that your word, Julie?
No.
Tim Tam, where art thou, Tim Tam? In the cupboard I find you not. In the shop I find you lot. In the packet I find you in slot. In the sun I find you hot. In my belly I find you rot. The end.
I love it. That was really good. That's very cool.
I can't follow that.
Doesn't matter. Nobody can.
My word was fence. And I can't really write poetry, so I wrote a script and said, setting, a suburban neighbourhood. Person 1 is observing a neighbour building. Person 1, hey neighbour, what are you building there? Person 2, a fence. End scene.
Thank you. Okay, I suppose. Shall I go before you, or is that everyone? Oh, yeah. Have you been? You? Oh, yes, you.
I also got sky. The sky is filled with so many colours, from blue to grey to orange, from the sunsets to the sunrise. The sky is full of so many things: clouds, storms, rainbows, stars and animals. The sky can make people happy and it can make people sad. The sky can do so many things just like people can.
Okay.
One more.
Well, and you. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, sorry. See, he was just kind of...
I got orange. The colour orange is a combination of red and yellow. It is a bright and warm colour. It represents fire, sun, fun, warmth and tropical surroundings.
Thank you. That's good. Do you want to go next or shall I go? Well, I got fire, and I did the kind of scary meaning of fire, I suppose. So it's kind of a poem, but it doesn't rhyme, and I don't really know whether it scans. But anyway, burning in the night, a grass fire on the horizon. We watch. Which way is the wind blowing? The wind is gentle, but embers fly overhead. Will they land on our house? The hose lies coiled and poised, but the tanks are nearly empty. When should we turn on the tap? The sound of wings flapping, the birds are fleeing, glowing fire on the horizon. Is it creeping ever nearer? The end.
So I got thongs, which is awesome. Great word. I wrote, I plan my nights out on town on whether or not I have to wear thongs, whether or not I have to wear shoes. And I was asked this morning, just this morning, whether I even own a pair of shoes. If I never had to wear a pair of shoes again in my life, I'd be happy. It's not that but I still need to wear thongs. So it's not that I have delicate feet, it's just that I tread soft and I walk on this ground respectfully. I wear thongs so I can do as I do every day, take them off and walk with my feet connected to home. Walk with my feet connected to where our story has always been. That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for, I don't know, just doing that little exercise. I like to do that stuff usually at the start. It's just so we get to know each other. There's a lot more games and stuff that I've got that are really cool. That I might be able to give to Julie. I want to show them. But yeah, my poetry, a lot of my stuff's pretty dark, I suppose you call it. I still didn't open up my laptop. Yeah, a lot of it's pretty dark, and I suppose it's because, like Julie was saying, you know, we talk about reflective writing. A lot of our stuff and a lot of the shit that we go through, you know, it's very heavy and it's very dark. And I think poetry has helped me to deal with a lot of stuff in my life. It's been able to be a way for me to get stuff out of here and out of here and get it down on paper and get it away from me. And I just find that, you know, sometimes I write stuff just for me. You know, people keep diaries and all that kind of stuff. That's not something that I ever did. But I just write stuff down, chuck it in the fire, scrunch it up, throw it in the bin. It's just a way of getting stuff out, so it doesn't get caught up in my head too much. One of the things that I used to write about was in 96, 27th of October 1996, we were involved in a car accident down in Sydney and we lost our sister. This was the day before her year 12 exams. And it was pretty full on. So, but that was a while, like that was, 21 years this year, I think. And this one here was about her. It's only very short, but I don't know. It's about her, but it's also about other people, I suppose, other people that we lose that we never really lose. So it's been years now, and it doesn't get any easier. But it doesn't get any harder though, so I suppose that's a good thing. See, I remember the way that you walked. I remember the way that we talked. And I remember the way that your hair, it felt soft against your shoulders. Sometimes I see you. And sometimes I see you far too often. So I give chase and I follow you all over the streets of Sydney. Only to say, once I've finally caught up to you, I'm sorry. You remind me of somebody I used to know. So that one's
lovely.
Yeah, that one's for my sister. And like I said, this stuff, you know, we need to get a lot of that stuff out because it's not good to hold on to too much of that stuff. It can hurt us, you know. We heal through telling story, and this reflective writing process is a process of healing, or a process of learning, or a process of, you know, connecting with the bigger story, bigger picture. So for me, yes, poetry's always been about healing. There was a friend of mine, and talking about healing, this one wasn't so much for me, it was a friend of mine. She was in a very violent relationship, a domestic violence relationship. And she wouldn't leave. She wouldn't leave. So this one I wrote for her. And she left, but they got back together. But yeah, it worked for a bit. And it goes, black woman, yes, black mother. For years you took the blame. You put up with that black man's shit and you hung your head to shame. His sugar-coated words of the night, they melt with the rising sun. And then his hands will also start to rise, the abuse and the torment's begun. Now, people look and others stare and they ask why the bruises remain. And then you drop your head and you whisper your answer. I fell down the stairs again. But if it happened before, you would have left. But then, yes, it already did. And you can't leave now. You have to stay, even if it is just for the kids. But if you stay, then your child too will learn to raise his hands. And just like his daddy, he'll grow up real big, but he'll never become a man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Did you want to look for any of your poems on your laptop? We'll just have a few minute break. Okay. All right then. Okay. And I was just going to say something about the word reciprocity, because that was my word. And it's because, and the meaning that I was thinking of was a little bit different to the one you find, that in a lot of the things that I've read about Indigenous relationships to land, the word reciprocity comes up, the idea that if you look after the land, it looks after you. If you look after other people, they look after you. So it's reciprocity is a word that's very connected in with the word relationships in a way. So you maintain relationships by reciprocity. So it's a good word to know the meaning of. So yeah, it's like how you maintain your friendships. That if people are kind, you know, you maintain them by, there's always a bit of give and take, isn't there? Yeah. And responsibility, I think that's the other important word.